We're here at Kranji at the Singapore Airlines International Cup, and I've caught up with another South African, none other than Brett Crawford. Brett, welcome. We've had the first running, bit of a South African flavour to the first with Pat Shaw winning it.
Yeah, first and second, Grant. So a nice start for South African interest today. So, interesting to be here and see some nice horses, and first time to Singapore. So, very interested to see how it goes.
The interesting part for me was the first race. The draws 12 and 13 were victorious.
Yeah, I mean, I think on the turf here, I think you got more of a chance from a deep draw. But I think from the poly track, the inside track, it looks very difficult. It looks like you got to be drawn well and be pretty handy.
Two big races, the two Group 1s. We start off with the sprint race, which has been a lot of hype for this Australian horse, Bell Sprinter, who seems to have quite a lot of winning credentials to his form.
Well, I mean, Granty brings Black Caviar form here, so, she's world class. So it'll be interesting to see how he does here. But, I must say I've got a little soft spot for Kavanagh, obviously South African interest for us. And the reports we've had out here is that he's been doing very well.
Let's just chat about him, because he's by Tiger Ridge, who's just recently signed the winner of the Triple Crown up in Johannesburg, standing at Mary Slack's farm, and was for Mrs. Oppenheimer. So it'll be another feather in that stallion's cap if he comes out and can be successful on the international stage.
No, I think without a doubt, he's doing well back at home, and Kavanagh seems to be improving with every run that he's had abroad. So it'll be very interesting to see how he goes. Glenn's flying all the way from Australia, another South African interest. So it'll be exciting.
Let's chat about some of the other principals, some of the local horses, and some from Hong Kong. What about Lucky 9?
Well, I mean, he's coming off good form. I think he's obviously got to have a chance. But, I'm not sure. The talk is that he'll run well, but I'll still stick with Kavanagh.
I think what Brett's leading to is that on the tote here in Singapore, we might be able to get a bit of a price about Kavanagh as well, because there hasn't been much mentioned in the media about him here.
No, there hasn't, but interesting, Pat Cummings, who does all the sectional timing and that, I actually retweeted his tweet this morning on his report, and he had Kavanagh coming out on top. So, I believe you've got to respect horses that are doing well at the present stage, and Kavanagh put up some good work this week.
Now, you mentioned the form line of Black Caviar coming to the Singapore International meeting. Now, what about the form line of Frankel in the Cup?
Yeah, look, I mean, Frankel's world class, so you've definitely got to respect those form lines.
Right, the Cup form line, obviously you've got Pistorius now. He represents that Frankel form line. He's a three-time Group 1 winner. A lot of people are saying, well, maybe this track's not going to suit him. But of what you've seen, do you think that could have a hindrance to his performance?
I don't think so. He is the class horse, I think, in the race. And I do believe that the class will probably come through for him there.
Any other fancies for you in that Cup? If you're going to go against Pistorius, who would you be siding with?
I don't know, Grant. I think the more you look at the race, the harder it gets. So I think it's quite difficult.
All right, now Brett has taken the time to work out a place accumulator. So let's ask him to go through those numbers. You picked them up and take us through those numbers.
Okay, well, it's my numbers are for the first leg 5 and 13, second leg 3, 6 and 8, the third leg 6 and 13, and then I've taken a chance. I've bankered the 3 in the next leg, followed by 2 and 6, and then in the feature I've gone for 2 and 3, the Hong Kong interest, and in the last leg I've gone 4 and 12.
Fantastic. So those are the numbers for Brett Crawford. He's been studying form for at least 3 days since he's got here, so we certainly be siding with some of those numbers.